Like I feel like it was one of my most productive conferences in a long time now. And he's not paying attention. This is how this goes. I talk, he no listen. Hey, it's Thomas, and this is
Ben,
Cross.
and we are the Gross Up,
Gross Up for Show Up.
coming to you live from Royal Oak, Michigan.
Yes.
We're at Kaizen Ramen right now.
I didn't know how to pronounce it.
I don't either, but neither do they. So, and we're about to have some vegan ramen. But before we dig in, we were going to come to you guys and give you kind of a recap of ERC last week in Boston.
Amazing week.
Pretty awesome, right?
Yeah, it was great.
General impression?
I said amazing.
Amazing. You
like,
kind of already did it.
twice.
All right. Well, my impression,
go?
I got a lot of love, man. I felt like there was a lot of love. There was a lot of deep interpersonal relationship building going on. I saw a lot of people I hadn't seen in years, which is kind of odd because a lot of these people you see like 3 times a year. Some people came back.
Typically, it's a bunch of people just back to back to back. And I do feel like now that you said that, there were some people that just popped up that I hadn't seen in a while. And in the love, though, I got a lot of love for the Gross Up.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel good about the Gross Up right now. Like, I didn't feel so good before.
It was good.
I walked in the ERC like, okay, we're doing the right thing. And then just the social media presence as well. And we talked about personal branding before. It's working.
Yeah. Well, I think people like it. You know what I think it is? I think it's touching a part of people that is underserved, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the emotional part, right? It's the most important part, but it's the most often neglected part, I think, is
in
the
business,
emotional person.
Sure.
In business, exactly. Yeah. So, well, without further ado, let's kind of go through some highlights of the week there.
And real quick, though, just side note on that. I like that you said that because I think that's why. Remember, when did you get on LinkedIn?
2006.
So I was LinkedIn in 2008. Nobody really cared about it. I mean, obviously it was a little bit newer, but it wasn't. It was
very dry.
Feeling.
It was very dry.
It was a bunch of resumes, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think over the last couple of years, they've switched to more of a Facebook feel, and now they're just booming, and it's a really great way to connect with people, and they've really tapped into more of a personal side of it. So it's very businessy, but has a personal touch.
So I'm cautious to say Facebook because I think people say, "Oh, LinkedIn's turning into Facebook," and they throw that at people who are creators on LinkedIn, and I think in reality it's more like LinkedIn is getting more personal.
Yeah, I mean, but even when I say Facebook, I mean it's excellent. I mean, Facebook is the top of the.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, they're adding live video, which is something we hope to get soon.
Right, yeah. Come on, LinkedIn.
I know. I just applied for the 3rd time yesterday.
We need live. With LinkedIn, we do so good with so many good things with it. We'd be live from all type of places.
It would be amazing.
It'd be great. Please.
Anyway, but I want to get to the week because I know we don't have a lot of time.
All right, let's go.
We got ramen coming up here. So first thing I want to talk about is Peggy Smith leaving. Honestly, that was an announcement that was made a few months ago, but this kind of hit home this conference because it was obviously happening.
Peggy Smith has been absolutely amazing to me. You know, I mean, I'm sure it's the same story to everybody else, but she's done such an amazing job with the ERC over the years, and she's been, at the wheel of that, at the helm of that ship for a very long time, and has been doing some amazing things in the community and in the business side of things and in the relocation industry by itself.
Yep.
I unfortunately missed the last part of it when they said the farewells, and I'm kind of glad I did because I'm a crier. I would cry.
Honestly, it was emotional, and I was a little disappointed, frankly. More people didn't give her more of a standing ovation, honestly. I was like, but anyway, that's a side note. I think one of the things that Peggy taught me was she changed the tone of ERC. When I first got to ERC in 2011, it was a very stuffy, cliquish, old school mentality. I was trying to break into it, And then I think Peggy started really letting her hair down and being more of a real person. And I think that people keyed off of that. And I think that it all of a sudden got cooler. It got more relaxed. It got more real. And she always would push the envelope. She would always do things that were a little controversial. and she's been a real inspiration in that way. And I think that, and she was always willing to talk about things nobody wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
You know, she loves talking about the gig economy and the gig worker, and a lot of folks don't want to talk about that. She loves to talk about disruptors, and she welcomes disruption into the industry. And I think that's really smart. I think a lot of times associations try to preserve the status quo, and they feel like that's their role. But in doing so, they almost make themselves irrelevant.
Yeah, she absolutely she went right along with the with the wave, and
right.
and she rode the wave really, and then brought ERC right along with her.
Right.
I mean, because that's all I knew was Peggy. So I didn't when I came to ERC, I think my first one might have been 2000, maybe 12 or 13. So I knew her about it. I mean, that's all I knew. So
right.
I came into an amazing organization. I came from going from some other associations that we went to for conferences and things like that, but. When I walked into ERC, like, this is well run. Everybody,
right.
I mean, it was a great environment by the time I got there. So I'm glad I didn't catch the stuffy side of things.
Well, shout out to Peggy Smith. We
yes,
love you. We
shout
appreciate you. We respect you so much. I can't wait to see what you do in your next chapter. You've always got a friend in me. So thank you for everything. So next thing I wanted to talk about was
deeper. I was gonna cry.
Yeah. Well, we got to keep it tight here for the people, right?
Yeah.
So also a little short recap of the party situation.
Can we end with the one that I like the best? Because
sure. Start. Where did you go?
So
during
I went to the Universe party. It was at Capitol Grill.
Yep.
Amazing nice little setting there. They had good food, good drinks for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I did a lot of networking there. I mean, some of these parties. This conference for me was one of my best just from a networking standpoint. For some reason, I'm not really sure why, but I made some really good contacts at that party, and I didn't catch all the other parties that I wanted to because I was being a hermit. But so, what other parties did you go to?
Yeah, so I missed the Universe. I went last year. They do throw a nice classy event. First night I went to the Sterling Lexicon event, partner appreciation. It was good.
Yep.
They had some vegan sushi. Props to Sterling Lexicon for that. I didn't win an award this year. Hopefully going to win an award next year. So that was cool to see those folks. The next night, went to the Wells Fargo shindig.
Yep. I went
Beautiful
there last
view.
year. I was this year.
Beautiful view. So what I always tell people about the parties on Wednesday night is I always start at Wells Fargo because the food is phenomenal.
Okay, it was good last year.
Yeah, it was good last year. It's always great. I mean, they had lobster rolls everywhere. They had the clam chowder. They had the raw bar. I mean, unreal.
Okay.
And I was doing the vegan thing, and the chef hooked me up with a beautiful tofu thing.
Oh.
It was pretty nice. So shout out to Wells for that. Later that night, I went to the Quicken Loans party.
This is what I want to talk about. So the Quicken Loans party was absolutely amazing. They always do a great job. They put on a great party.
That's right.
Wonderful for networking. A lot of space to kind of spread out and have your little side meetings and talk and all that stuff. But as soon as I walked in, I was hungry. I mean, I've been vegan for a while now, so
You stay hungry.
I stay hungry, right? And I walked in. There's a little thing that had a vegan, like some type of roll thing. I grabbed that, and then I went down and saw they had vegan donuts, Boston cream donuts. I ate two of meat, stacks of vegan donuts. I ate 2 of them. How about yourself?
I ate 2 donuts also. It's so funny because you're like, yo, they got vegan donuts. I said, bro, I ate 2. You're like, I ate 2 also.
So like, it was great. But then they also had lobster rolls and all type of things, and the food everywhere. It was.
You can make your own soap.
I saw that.
You can make your own bath salts.
Yeah, people had what's this Epsom salt. They were making like scented Epsom salts. It
was
really cool.
I think people were smoking bath salts outside. It's recreational, apparently. I don't know. Oh, anyways, man. Wild out there. But no, they had the garbanzo bean deal, the vegan. It was great. It was great. It was like in a marketplace.
Dan Gilbert knows how to throw a party. It was in the Boston Public Market. So it's like, for those of you that aren't familiar with Boston Public Market, it's like an inside version of Pike's Market in
it's a lot like
Seattle.
Pike. Is it Pike Place? Pike Place Market.
Yeah.
It's a lot like a Pike Place Market.
Yeah. So I mean, they had the fresh fish and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it was great, really great vibe, really great atmosphere. I ducked out early because I was getting ready for something. I had to go to bed.
And shout out to Emily Stark, who plans those parties every year. I tell everybody she's the best party planner in relocation.
Oh, I want to meet her and shake her hand because she's the best.
You might have met her at Great Lakes actually, because she was a part of that as well.
Dang, I didn't even know.
So and then after that, props because after that was an after party. Props to Dominican Corporate Housing for throwing an after party that night over at Club Icon.
I heard it was amazing.
It was popping. Okay. It was legit.
So it was like an after party of the after party.
Yeah.
And no one's ever dared to do an after party of such an epic party.
But people have been needing to, and then there was a little hospitality suite action going on as well.
Okay.
So, you know,
I missed out.
if that's your scene, if partying is your scene, there was plenty to be had there.
Or if networking is your scene, you know?
Yeah, I did not drink the entire conference. This is my second ERC in a row not drinking.
Yes.
I had a little bit of in between, but the ERC conference is my second ERC conference not drinking.
And I'm happy for you.
Yo, it is a different experience.
Remember everything.
My day game is great. My night game is spotty. Sometimes I'm in bed by 11.
Yeah, but
sometimes I'm in bed at 2:30.
Yeah, true.
I remember everything. So when somebody drunkenly tells me they love me 3 times between the hours of 1 and 2, I recall all that love.
Yeah. I'll remember that love when I call you and ask for business.
Exactly. I'm taping this right now. No, so you know it's just different.
Yeah.
But I think what it did is it got me into more deep conversations. One night I went and I had
more
dinner
meaningful.
with Ryan Watrova and Dave Sharon. You know, we just sat there at an Indian vegan pizzeria in North Boston for like 2 hours. For like 2 hours, just chopping it up.
Indian vegan
so you have
pizza.
more deep
Hold on.
relationships.
Indian vegan pizza.
I was so scared it was going to be terrible, but it was actually really good.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, so there was that. So that was kind of the difference, I would think. So then, and then the next day, Friday.
Okay. Can I talk about this? So, here you go.
Well, should I tee it up?
Yeah, tee it up.
No, you tee it up.
So Friday was for the Ignite sessions. People were buzzing about the Ignite session.
What's an Ignite session?
Ignite session is when presenters have 5 minutes to get up there really quick. So it's presenter after presenter, jump up, do their thing, quick, fire away, and then get off, right? So
yeah, so you every 15 seconds the slides automatically advance.
Oh, I didn't know
you
that.
You get 20 slides, 5 minutes, tight.
Boom, boom, boom. So it makes it quick. It's real fun. And if you bomb, you bomb. If you're good, you're good, right?
Ben Heller was the moderator. He put it together. He invited me.
Yeah. Shout out to Ben.
Shout out to Ben.
And so you did your Ignite session, right? And am I correct that this was a second time that you did this?
All right, so so let me go back a little bit because this is interesting. Some people know about this, some people don't know about this. I did this same general session at Wisconsin ERC/Chicago in Lake Geneva about a month ago in September. I did it. I said the F word 5 times. I had it twice on a slide.
Twice, so 7 combined.
I got so many hugs afterwards, and little old ladies telling me if they don't like it, F them. And like, Jen gets the mic and she's like, let's effing have some fun. And you know, everybody gave everybody permission. Now there was 1 or 2 people who bugged face over this whole situation, and they were ready to like excommunicate me from the relocation industry.
Yeah.
And so I learned a few things. I learned, one, you're gonna have some. When you try something new and you try something different, you try to be edgy and you grab people by the eyeballs and the earlobes and you make them listen to things. You're gonna have some people that are gonna flip out on you, and they're gonna try to like just burn the place down.
Okay.
And some people are gonna take these opportunities when you're vulnerable to take shots at you and tell everybody because they think by making you look worse, they look better.
It just some people just want to talk
crabs.
Want people down.
The second thing is you learn who your real true friends are when they come up. People come and support you and stand up for you behind your back even. Yeah. When the angry mob is out there, with the pitchforks. Yeah. And then the third thing is I realized that. And by doing this the second time and cleaning it up quite a bit, I learned that I didn't have to go that far with it.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
I can get people's attention in other ways.
Yeah.
I think you can drop a little something edgy, but you don't have to hit people between the eyeballs with it. Yeah. So that was a learning experience for me.
So do you feel like the first time? I mean, obviously, the first 2 lessons were definitely different. But so the third, do you feel like you were maybe on the bleeding edge a little bit?
I was bleeding.
You were on the bleeding edge.
I was bleeding.
And then you took it back to leading edge. Because, you still had the same exact message, which was still, because the message itself to me is a shakeup of what is a disruptor. It's a disruptive conversation, right? Well, you're bringing a heavy hitting, like, we need to stop doing business like this. And then you were like sugarcoat, or not sugarcoating it.
I was doing the opposite of sugarcoat. I'm shitcoating it. Yeah.
You we're putting like a bucket of shit on top of this amazingly disruptive message. And then,
which isn't also the best way to package disruption is in a loosely tied bag of shit. It's usually better in a nice box from Macy's.
All disruptive companies come looking real nice, like Uber looks great. It's an app, it's sleek.
Exactly.
He came with a disruptive message, guns blazing, and it didn't. So do you feel like do you like it? Did you feel better the second time around?
Yes, undoubtedly.
And so I heard just a wide array of people saying how amazing it was, and people loved it, and how necessary the message was. You reposted on LinkedIn. You're getting crazy feedback from people that didn't get to see it in person. And I'm glad though that this is the one that's on LinkedIn and not the other one, because I might have had to excommunicado you from this podcast. Like if that was live. The
people have been extremely warm. I was very nervous doing this. I was nervous doing it again for the second time after the first time.
Because you just don't know.
Yeah. You just don't know. But people have been so nice. People have asked to share it with their teams. People have asked me to redo it again for their organizations, which I think is really cool. Honestly, I think I could have done a lot better. I thought some of the ordering was off. I thought some of the storytelling and the narrative could have been tightened up. I thought my energy was good. I thought my delivery was solid. I thought my images were interesting and provocative.
Yeah, they were.
So I think what it is it's a tight 5 minutes that I can build on and maybe build out a longer talk, because eventually one day I do want to start giving some keynotes and start being able to carry things. I look at what some people in the in the industry have done, and that's one of my goals. So so thank you for saying that. I really appreciate that.
I think you did a great job. I don't normally watch your videos. I try not to. But I watched the video. It was amazing.
Well, you had a big thing too. So when you got home that weekend, when the rest of us were just cooling out, sobering up, and spending time with family, what did you do that weekend?
While you guys were recovering, I was actively tearing my body apart. And so I ran a marathon, 26.2 miles here in Detroit.
And Canada. He ran to Canada.
Yeah. So it started in Detroit, crossed over the bridge to Canada, ran for a few miles there, came back through the tunnel. Ran 20-something miles or so, went over to Belle Isle, came back, and 26.2 miles back to the finish line. And
what did you learn from that process?
I'm a maniac, bro. Honestly, because it was my first marathon. People were telling me, and people were telling me, like, your goals are too high. You should just want to.
Don't you love that when other people tell you your goals are too high?
Yeah, that's too much for your first time. And I really appreciated all the advice, because people really just.
I really appreciated the advice. That's corporate for.
They just don't want you to. People just don't want you to go out there and hit a wall and just really regret the experience or never do it again. So they were all coming from a good place.
Can I just talk to you about when people tell you your goals are too high? Can we just talk about that for a second on a side note? People need to shut their mouth, okay? And people need to get their own goals that they can ratchet down, okay? Because when you're trying to shine over here, let you shine. They're worried about your safety. Well, that's cool. Well, you know what? Failure is a stepping stone to success. Fail big, succeed big.
My thing was I would have rather not finish.
I'm mad about it.
I would have rather not finish and crawl to halfway point and shoot for my goal than just finish. So I didn't let it happen. I got a little nervous along the week. I was going to sleep early. That's why I missed some of the parties. But I got there. I did my goal. My goal was 3 hours, 15 minutes to finish a full marathon. I finished in 3 hours, 13 minutes, and 30 seconds.
Dude, respect, man. That's awesome. That's phenomenal.
But I didn't hit a wall. There was no wall. I kept saying to myself, what wall? What are we doing? I don't know. Just keep running.
Well, dude, you prepared your ass off, man. You worked so hard, man. And I think that's the key too. When we're nervous, I was nervous for that Ignite session. You were nervous for that. We prepared animals, man. Yeah. And when people see you just come out and succeed and knock it out of the park, and they don't see all the hours of preparation in the gym, in the hotel room, on the treadmill, on the trail, early in the morning, all the failures, all the private moments of questioning yourself. Yeah. People don't see all that. They just see the finished product. That's so amazing.
Or they just see, he's trying to go for a goal that's a little too fast or too high. They don't know that you put in way more work than you probably could or should or whatever. And I feel like a personal note. I feel like what I learned about myself then is, you know me, so I often will set, maybe not the most aggressive goals in the world, and maybe I should go a little harder on certain things. And I feel like maybe that showed me that I know what I need to do is just go a little harder in the behind the scenes, set those lofty goals, go for them, and then just take no. I'm not taking no for an answer.
Don't compromise your goals, Thomas. I think in the past you've been you've hedged sometimes.
Yeah,
you've hedged your bets,
yeah,
and you've
course.
not reached as
course.
boldly
Of
as
course.
you could have reached.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think you are going through your life and you're systematically eliminating all these obstacles and reasons that you've had in the past to not reach. And I think that 2020 and beyond is going to be a new era in your life where you are going to have no obstacles and you're going to have the courage and the past performance to reach and audaciously grab a hold of what you have, what God has in store in your life.
I'm glad this is recording because I'm gonna get that tatted on my back. That whole thing.
That's gonna be a long tat.
That whole tat.
Might have a couple sittings.
It'll be like a scripture almost.
Dude, man, I just feel that for you, man, and I feel like honestly, you being in my life has helped eliminate things for me, right?
When you said that you wanted to do this challenge, it really did touch my heart though, because it means
man.
a lot to have somebody say, "I would like to do what you're doing."
I'm gonna emulate you. I mean, that's really the highest honor, right? That's
exactly.
Just, you know what they say is a form of flattery or something.
Copy,
something I don't know. Anyway, you should be honored, be flattered because
I'm honored and flattered.
I really did, man. I was spending time with you, and I was like, you know, what you've done and stuff, eliminating alcohol, eliminating, you know, living a vegan lifestyle.
It's freed up a lot of.
I'm what am I now? This is the 23rd. I'm 23 days into my 30-day Thomas Bailey challenge. Yeah. And so that means I'm living vegan, and I have no alcohol, and so far so good.
Man.
You know.
I'm liking it. I still like you. It's cool.
I'm
you
trying, man. I think it's
terrible.
So people ask me like, do you feel better? And I'm like, well, let me be specific, right? I have more clarity because of the alcohol or the elimination thereof. Yeah. And I have more mindfulness because I'm actually making purposeful choices about what I ingest in my body. Exactly. I'm reading all the labels. I'm thinking about the nutrition. I'm thinking about things instead of just absent-mindedly eating.
We're so programmed just to eat and see and eat, you know. And the moment when you slow down and you kind of start to feel where your place is amongst all this and what your relationship is to the things outside of you.
And my sleep is better. Yeah, so my sleep is better. Although I'm still tired, it's not like a panacea. But my sleep is better, which makes my mood more stable.
Yeah, and that's
I felt that I was prone to mood swings.
Yeah, you were. I think we need to go 60 days. I think we got to go 60 days of the Thomas Bailey Challenge, and maybe we'll get past the
ups and the downs. So I think that makes me more of a manageable person.
We're towards the end of the ride right now, but I appreciate that, man.
So I mean, going back to your marathon, dude. I mean, so many people. Dude, the amount of support that people have shown you,
man.
I've just seen it where people are coming out of the woodwork and they're just like touched by what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you realize the impact that you were making when you set forth on this goal?
No, not at all. Like I don't even. I mean, to be honest, like when people say like, "Oh man, you really inspired me," I hope I do, you know. And I definitely wasn't doing it for that. I was doing it for me, and I'm glad that other people are seeing it, watching it, and kind of feeling it, you know. But other than that, like I'm just kind of along for the ride too. So hopefully people want to go along with me.
Isn't it crazy that like we don't have to tell people things? We just have to live our life in a certain way, and people are influenced by it.
I thought it was the other way around for a long time.
I thought you had to get on the mic and tell people do this.
I'm just doing my thing and just trying to. I want to feel better every step of every day, you know, and hopefully people will watch it and see me doing better. Like my wife just started a 365-day challenge. She's gonna do some type of exercise for 20 minutes at least, whether it's walking, whatever, for 365 days in a row. She's on like day 30 something ish. And I didn't, you know, I had no pushing from me at all, and I'm really glad she's doing it.
Just because the way you chose to live your life inspired her.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, without any pushing or talking or preaching, fantastic. It was just do your thing, you know.
That's fantastic.
But I mean, I really do hope that what I'm doing is helping other people, and if anybody wants to do the Thomas Bailey Challenge, like I said before, hit me up. You know, any questions or whatever. I'd rather help, you know, in this way than any other way. So
we're trying to keep it tighter. We're trying to keep our podcast format tighter. I think we're doing a pretty good job. So what I want to do is I just want to tell the people, hey, if you've gotten this far, that means you're a great, loyal fan.
Oh my gosh, I love you.
Most people, my father doesn't even get this far, I guarantee you.
The 15 of you, I love you.
Dad, if you're still watching, let me know that you watch this much.
And he's only watching because of me.
Guaranteed.
Your dad's watching.
He likes you more than me. He's tired of me at this
Absolutely.
point. I do.
Real quick.
What
Work
up?
for Hunger. I turned my miles into meals.
Oh, yeah.
Raised $3,801.
Whoa, $3,801?
Yep. $3,801.
You were stuck on like $2,000 at ERC.
Yeah, because number one, a bunch of people were giving money. You
What happened?
You shouted me out.
Oh, I did that.
Crown Relocation for their event. I forgot. I'm sorry. Crown Relocation had an event. They made me the focal point of their fundraising. They had Move for Hunger there as well to do their thing in one of their CSR event. But they said, hey, look, we're not doing a big charity thing here this year. Thomas Bailey's running a thing. Step up, Thomas Bailey. Talk, please. Let us know what you're doing.
Thomas Bailey, talk, please.
I got up and spoke a little bit about why I'm running, and all that stuff. And I was the focal point of their fundraising, so they hit us with a bunch of money there. So shout out to Crown for doing something like that. That's much different,
Yeah.
Thanks for taking that step and helping me out. But for $3,800, man.
That's awesome, man.
Goal's $400. So if anybody got $199 sitting around, throw it in there. Let's get that goal.
$4,000. Trying to get to $4,000. All right. So next week we have a couple topics, a couple things we want to talk about, but I want to ask you guys, the viewers out there, what are you thinking? What are you struggling with? What would you like to hear us talk about? We really make this show for you guys.
I was frozen for a second. Yeah, I really liked when we did the Q&A that one time. I had a great time doing that. And if we could figure a nice topic to do, or even if it's random, I would even like a random moment where it's each question just could be rapid fire.
Shoot us like 10 random questions and we'll answer them.
Yeah.
And they could be ridiculous because some of them were.
And they should be ridiculous, man.
But that's fine.
People are ridiculous. I'm halfway ridiculous. Well, I'm probably 75% ridiculous.
50, yeah, at least 51.
Yeah.
So send us your questions. We'll answer them live. And
I'm ready to eat, man.
Yeah, we're gonna get this vegan ramen situation handled here.
It good.
At Royal Oak. It's supposed to be pretty dope. So we're gonna do that. And love you guys.
Absolutely.
Take care of yourself.
Love you guys. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for everything.
Peace out.
Appreciate you.